Hi guys, this is Maneendra. So now I'm going to explain about the architectural view of configuring Windchill server with Microsoft Active Directory. So let's get started with the prerequisites. So these are like few prerequisites that we need to make sure we have before configuring the AD. So the provider URL. So the provider URL is like used for authentication. Basically we use a global port like 3268 and the local LDAP port is 389. So local LDAP port is for Windchill server pertain to local users, and coming to this 3268 is for a global port for an Active Directory. So we need to have the credentials of the Active Directory. So it will be, these credentials will be helpful during our authentication. And we need to have a fully functional Windchill server. Now let's get started with the configuration of Windchill server. So here we need to provide, as I said prior, like we need to provide the URL, Active Directory URL and the credentials to our Apache web server. So here in Windchill we use Apache as a web server. So now we need to make sure that Apache has these credentials and the information so that it can authenticate. So how do we do that? So when you go to the physical folder structure of the web server, in the HTTP service you have app hyphen Windchill auth provider. Like you'll find a file in with an extension or like with an XML. So there you provide the URL, the bind DN and the password, so from where it can authenticate. So next comes the JND adapters. So here why do we create these JND adapters is, these JND adapters are like Java naming directory interface which uses a Java API to communicate to the directory service. So it can be based on, like it can fetch the information data or the objects based on the name or the common name or the base DN. So whatsoever, like based on the authentication request, it will fetch the information. So these JND adapters can be configured from the GUI interface. Like this Windchill is a web-based application. So we log into the browser and we'll go to the site utilities, and we have a info engine administration. So we go there to the info engine administration and we create our JND adapters. So in the JND adapters we do provide the provider URL of the Active Directory, credentials, and we do configure some additional properties like how the LDAP structure is it a subtree or it's a sublevel. So basically it will be a subtree. And next we provide the credentials and other additional information that we get during the configuration. So next comes the task delegate administration. So comes the point, like why do we create this task delegate administration? So this task delegation is additional property in Windchill where the user can delegate a task to other user. So we create this task delegate administration for a respective AD that we configure, so that all the users in that particular Active Directory will have an property or an action. They can perform this action of delegating the tasks in the Windchill. And we do coming to this propagating the changes in the site.xconf. So coming, like what is this site.xconf is, it's like a heart of Windchill, like where we propagate the changes, like where we give the property changes, and When coming to the point, second point, like in the JND adapters, we provide the service name. Like we manually give our service name, like what service name we want to provide. Like it's based on the user, so you can give the service name. So the same service name should be provided in the site.xconf under the property name wt.directory.federation. So when we propagate the changes through a command shell using a command xconf manager -p, so that the changes will be propagated. So we authenticate based on the test user, will be having some users, so we authenticate the request. Like if there is any user in the active directory, based on that authentication we'll do the authentication and we'll test whether the active directory is configured or not. So this is what the high level overview of this architectural overview of the configuration of Microsoft AD with the Windchill server. And this active directory has like not only the users, it has it has groups, it has machine names. So in Windchill we'll be facing few issues, like whenever a user is removed from the AD, because whenever an user is removed from the active directory, we'll get an issue like disconnected participants in the Windchill. So whenever we get this, we make sure that those users are also removed from the Windchill. So this is pretty much about the configuration. Thank you. Bye.